Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff that a lot of different things. Only thing that we haven't seen is my love
A
of
paladin.
Hearthstone,
Yes,
which is
we do not have a
Paladin.
paladin in this deck, in this
That's okay. It makes
event. So
sense.
pretty brutal. Paladins need some more love, man.
Yeah, I know. But we see
Okay, so what?
Tides has decided to lead off with Miracle, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, like Strife said, Miracle's probably the strongest deck on ladder. I think a lot of players agree with that assessment, and yeah, Monk decided to go with a very popular opener of Shaman. I think we've seen what maybe six players leading off with Shaman. So
Yeah, let me see. Let me take a look at his shaman deck. It might be more of the traditional shaman deck that we've seen in the past. But he does have one Argent Commander. He's got Alkir at the end. Doesn't have the Doomhammer, so definitely that flavor of the shaman. He also has a Stormforged Axe too. I don't think we've seen many Stormforged Axes today.
yeah, I don't think we have either. He's also got a token amount of healing in that an Earthen Ring Farseer.
Yeah.
So kind of a very mid-rangey Shaman deck, pretty close to standard.
Yep. Little
So
wrinkle there. Okay, so Tide's taking a look at that. So you take a look at his hand here. Nothing he's gonna. I don't know. Nothing that really I think he's gonna do except for. Okay, so he's gonna coin out the Edwin Van Cleave 4/4 there.
yep. And
Nice.
that's kind of a little bit risky against a Shaman. Monk could roll a Spell Power Totem and Earth Shock, clear that Edwin off immediately.
Yeah. He has
But
no other play. You know, there's not a great play from there. And Edwin, like you said, isn't the greatest against Shaman in general. So might as well take a chance in the very beginning.
yeah, I mean, this kind of just forces Monk to have some kind of answer. I mean, if he rolls a Spell Power Totem, that makes things a lot easier for him. He could Lightning Bolt or Earth Shock. But wow, he did roll the Spell Power, and he did have the Earth Shock. So little RNG love for Monk at the very beginning will give him a pretty safe couple of first turns.
Okay, so Tides is going to throw down the Earthen Ring Farseer here. Didn't really need to heal at all, but it's definitely good to get down a 3/3 on the board. But Monk's going to immediately remove it with the Lightning Bolt and buff up his Unbound Elemental, so great turn for him.
Wow, that's a really solid turn for Monk. He doesn't really have that many cards. Tides is cantripping a lot here, but yeah, I mean Monk's got the board for sure now, and Tides is gonna have to start dealing with his minions. Those totems are a real pain in his keister right now.
One interesting thing that Tides does have in his hand that we haven't quite seen all day is having the double poison opportunity. If he gets like an Assassin's Blade, can he actually double poison it up to 7? It could be some crazy damage from his weapon.
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with what's on the board right now before we can even get to that discussion.
Yeah, that's true. And, I wouldn't have been surprised to see Tides go Dagger, Deadly Poison, and Blade Flurry last turn, but I guess he's just going to go with the Earthen Ring, Farseer, and Dagger up instead.
Alright, so the Fire Elemental's on the
Fire
board.
Elemental.
My goodness, so he might actually have to use the double poison on his regular dagger.
It's pretty good now because he gets the Fire Elemental as well, and I mean he just clears off the whole board. I mean, obviously Monk wasn't really expecting double poison Blade Flurry, but
yeah.
Maybe a little overzealous with the Fire Elemental. Although, Monk's still got a bunch of cards in hand and all his mana, so probably just repopulate the board right now.
Yeah, and it's a lot to invest for Tides. He does clear the board, but he's sitting on Gadget Zan, so he definitely feels a little bit, probably feels okay about spending that many cards on removing the board there. And it looks like he just drew an Azure Drake. I don't know. What do you think? Azure Drake or a Gadget Zan here?
I would throw down the Drake. You don't really have a good way to use the Gadget Zen. I mean, you can get one draw immediately off of Cold Blood, but then if you don't draw like a Conceal or something, then you have to Shadow Step your Gadget Zen.
Yeah.
And just getting like basically one or two draws is pretty suboptimal here, especially because you end up burning pretty relevant spells for just no reason other than to cantrip.
Yeah, a backstab would be an ideal draw here. Azure Drake, the backstab into removing that their Azure Drake there.
Yeah, that would be pretty ideal. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that, but you know, he gets to put a damage on the Spell Power Totem and redagger. I'm not even sure if that's correct. The Spell Power Totem, I guess, is gonna die next turn to the Fan of Knives, but yeah, it's hard to say. Monk probably can just Lightning Bolt this Drake, move on, or just trade Drakes and throw down some more minions.
Yeah, I like
We'll
the swing.
see what he's got.
Okay, so let's.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of important for Miracle Rogue just to get every single point of damage in possible, so I'm not sure if he can afford to just play the board control game, especially because his hand is kind of awkward.
Oh, I see.
But-
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right,
He
Monk in
does
his
have a
classic
prep
Monk
fan.
style, really measuring
Every
out
turn is
all
going to
the-
go down to the burning rope.
I know.
Every turn.
Well, and one game in this series was going to be equivalent to an entire series. Okay, let's
you know,
see.
Tides does actually have a preparation, so I mean that Gadgetzan's gonna start drawing. Maybe not do a whole lot, but
Oh,
at
wow.
least 3 or 4 cards for him.
So Lightning Storm is going to just use it as a single target removal there, and
Yeah.
Get
Flame
the,
Dome Totem,
Flame
just
Dome.
get a bunch of damage in.
yeah, and it's a
Maybe
common
Feral
theme.
Spirits?
Nope, he's
Ooh,
going to go ahead and
Stormforge Axe.
Stormforge Axe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get
this-
get damage in while he can. He doesn't mind if Tides uses Dagger to kill that Spell Power Totem, just because he's gonna get the 2 more damage in anyways. So
Yeah. And this is the common theme that we've been talking about all day. You know, if you want to beat the Miracle Rogue, you really got to push damage, pressure them really, really hard,
Ooh.
and oh, nice.
That's a really annoying draw actually for Tides because he just preparationed, drew into that backstab, but
Oh,
now he
that's true.
can't backstab the Drake
Oh, that's a good point. That is really
and
brutal.
Fan of Knives as well. So he's kind of has to decide whether he wants to strand the backstab or if he wants to
He might cold blood.
basically take the mana. Yeah, you could Cold Blood as well.
Yeah, get
But,
something out of
I
it.
mean, yeah, that Gadgetzan's just not going to survive, though, for very long.
Yeah, agreed. And I
does-
think Monk's probably sitting on. Well, he could be sitting on any kind of a lightning bolt, or he did use an earth shock, so he doesn't have that at the very least. But
That's
he's got
true.
2 damage from the weapon. Very likely it's going to die, like you said. Oh, again, another Gadgetzan. Nice.
Alright, well, you know, he did draw an Eviscerate to clear out the Drake at least, and
Mhm.
yeah, you know, doesn't have to deal with a whole lot on the board anymore. Monk is overloaded down to 6 as well, so that's, you know, something to watch out for, but
Yeah. Again, Monk has the Alkir, so he's going to have some range at the end, and I don't think he's used a Rock Biter yet.
I don't think he has either. It could be just like a... Well, I don't think that would just be a Lightning Bolt, because he'd probably roll for a Totem first, unless he's got a Gadgetzan
The
or
Hex.
something.
I'm
but-
thinking it's the Hex. No, it's not.
Oh, it's a Fire
Fire
Elemental.
Elemental.
That's
Okay, so he's
pretty
just
good for
gonna
Monk.
swing into it too.
Yeah. He clears out that Gadgetzan, and you know, now Tides has to answer another giant monster.
All right, so he does have a backstab that can get his Gadgetzan going here. He's got Thalnos also, but I don't think Thalnos is necessarily going to help him.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done like
Seal.
Drake and Thalnos and like backstabbed the Fire Ellie for 4, but yeah, it's not the best here. I think
got a
he
Shadow Step.
he probably actually just Cold Bloods as well to draw, and then kills off the Flame
Oh, he
Tongue
got a prep.
Totem. Well,
Got a
that's
prep.
Pretty helpful for him. He might think he has to draw to kill off that.
You know, if he draws a
Fire Ellie, but-
Leroy, you know, if Monk doesn't have lethal and Tides draws a Leroy here, that could be lethal for
Yeah,
him,
that-
actually.
That could be lethal the turn after. Yeah, I mean it's 18
Yeah.
next turn if he draws Leroy at some point, but ooh, that backstab's not gonna do very much.
You
And-
can't play backstab on injured units. For those
Not
who watched
anymore,
for the first time.
at
Yeah,
least.
not anymore. Yeah.
But
Before you
Monk
could.
only needs
Crazy.
6 damage, and he's got all 10 mana to work with this turn too. So that's
Oh,
yeah,
calling well played.
Alakir or
There it is.
2 Rock Biters or anything. So
All right, going for the Rockbiter. Alakir, big finish here from Monk. And actually, double
Rock Biter,
Man,
Alakir.
he was
little
really saving
little bit of BM there, but
Really saving it, man,
Yes.
for him. All right, so Monk
That's
takes the
okay.
first game, goes up 1-0 against Tides of Time, and
yeah.
pretty good start.